I agree. I like that song too, but there was like a minute and 30 left. I'm like, I'm too excited. I have too much stuff to talk about. Just looked at my notes too. I'm like, holy crap. Have a lot of stuff that I'm going to share with you. And as everyone's coming on, good morning. Good morning. I have something at the end that I'm going to launch. So stay here or text some friends that you can share. I know that a lot of us are in a lot of similar groups, and maybe you're not, but it will definitely be in the High Vibe Tribe. You might see it in other places too. But it's going to be really cool. I think it's something that you guys here will enjoy. I think it's something that people have asked for. Um, I just I didn't put my foot on the gas yet. So we did that, and it's fun. I'm really excited about it. I'm just going to mute a few people. Okay, so this morning I'm going to do chapters 7 through 10, like we've been doing this week. But I kind of, not that I couldn't really relate to about helping distributors and customers join your business. I really wanted to go to the promotion aspect, and the promotion on social media, and take it a little bit further than just promoting the events, because that's what he talks about in there, promoting events. But I also want to talk about promoting you, promoting your product, your opportunity, good ways to do it, things that I've found that have helped me personally or people on my team. And I think it's an important part too, because as entrepreneurs, I had this conversation with someone the other day. It can be a roller coaster, because you have to be self motivated, even if you have great accountability like we have here, right? We all know that sometimes you have those days where you're like, right? And it's that inner, why am I doing it? It's that inner, okay, I need to get up for my team. It's that inner, you do have to be self-motivated. I do believe that it's a lot. I see a lot more success with people who are like, you know what, I'm getting up and I'm doing this because, just like a job, we don't have someone that's like, clock in at 9, get your work ready or get your work done till, 5 o'clock. And it can be so distracting as an entrepreneur, right? You're at home, you hear your kid jumping around downstairs doing something, or you hear the dishwasher go off and you're like, oh, I'm going to go do the dishwasher, right? So I just think that too is such an important part. We have to work really hard on promoting ourselves, our product, and our opportunity, through social media. And of course, there's other ways, but I want to talk more about doing it through social media, especially because right now more and more people are doing things online, left and right. Like everybody's doing a Zoom or a Google Meet, or a Facebook event. And I absolutely love that. Honestly, I think especially even pre this, whatever's going on in the world, pre this, I think even then it was really convenient for people like me that are a mom. And, I don't really always want to take my 4-year-old to people's houses. They don't have kids. He's going to tear stuff up. So this world of social media, it's not going to get any smaller, right? And like I've said before, we've seen in the last couple of years just left and right all these platforms launching all the time. And so that's kind of too what made me want to create the guide as well, to help us grow on more platforms that I think that you guys here will be able to utilize. But that being said, one thing I want you to keep in mind as we talk about promotion of your events, your product, your opportunity, or even yourself today is the 80-20 rule. And you might have heard that before, but the rule basically states 80% your life, 20% your business. I don't believe that this is true though for stories. So if you're really utilizing your stories, I believe you can pump out as much business stuff, promotion stuff in there as you see fit and as you see working for you. I do a lot more promotion of like my products and my opportunity in my stories than you'll ever see on my page. Because personally, right? Especially on Facebook, you can see the difference in posts. So, if you're taking notes, especially like I do, right? I'll make like a post about my product and maybe a bunch of people on my team will like it. And again, I never get attached to that number. I just realize sometimes that 80-20, it needs to be pushed more. Because if I keep doing business and I'm having people on my team liking it or people on my team commenting, great, right? I love the support, all that kind of stuff. But if I'm looking for new people to prospect, you've got to do that 80-20 and throw in like a picture of your kid. Or like this morning, I did how many pillows do you do? Because I kind of looked at my page lately and I'm like, oh, I'm doing a lot of promoting. I had a lot of stuff going on lately. So not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm like, switch it up, right? And the first couple people who commented in my post this morning were people I haven't talked to in a while. So that's one thing too, if you really use that 80-20 rule, you'll start really switching up your algorithm. I was talking with Heidi. Oh, cool. She's here. And we were talking about, seeing some of the same stuff sometimes. Sometimes you've got to maybe do that 80-20 rule a little bit different. Maybe you need to do 60-40 for like a week or two to get some people back, like following and back engaging with you. Because that's one of the most important parts too, is getting people to see what you're doing and having them comment on your stuff. Because then you tell the algorithm, okay, they like my stuff. They'll start seeing more of your stuff. So when you are promoting your product, service, or if there's a sale or something or an event, they'll see that as well. And so think about that too. Don't worry about so much if they like it. They're always seeing it. How many times have you scrolled past a post and you didn't like it or love it? I do it all the time, unfortunately. So think about that too. A lot of people are seeing that. But when you're doing the 80-20, right, you have you're definitely less likely to be unfollowed for like promoting too much. Okay. And I want to go into that. There are a lot of times that I see that people get really excited about promoting, if there's like a sale or if they just started their business, right? And they're really excited about promoting their business. It can go really quick from like, I'm super excited to like 15 posts in one day, right? And what happens is at that time, you get, let's say I'm scrolling through and I'm like, oh my gosh, here goes this, which I don't do that. I love people who start businesses. So should you, no matter what business it is, support them. But some people are like, I'm going to unfollow them, right? Just because they don't know what they're doing, they're uneducated, or maybe they just, whatever. It's so hard to get people to refollow you. It's like nearly impossible. So if you're doing the 80-20, I believe that you definitely have a lot more chance of being seen and people accepting what you're doing. Okay, if it's business here and then there's a picture of my golden doodle, it's business here and then there's a picture of my kid. So they're like, okay, it's not too much, right? Because I think sometimes when people see too much, they just are like, okay, I don't want to even see that. That person's not even real. They've gone into robot. I was there. And it was a lot different when I got started. I know there's a lot of people too that have been doing this for quite some time. 5 years ago, when we got started in network marketing, I could post 16 times a day, like with a graphic from the company. And all day people were like, yeah, I'm in, right? Stop posting graphics from your company, just like straight up. Unless you're doing something with them, right? If you're adding like gifts or arrows or circles, I love that type of stuff. But sometimes people are just like, they get a free shipping email or something and they just make a post. They're like, free shipping. I'm like, we can't do that anymore. It doesn't work as good anymore. It does work really well in your stories. I'll say that. But then again, right? I try to tell people, if you have free shipping, grab a box of your product, service, opportunity. Or if you have a freebie, right? Grab something that you have, take a picture of yourself and make a genuine post about how I have this to offer to you, rather than this is the graphic from my company, or this is the freebie that I'm giving out, right? I feel like it used to work, but it doesn't anymore. People really want to see that genuine, real, and you can do a lot of promotion of yourself. Why is my dog crying? Why are you crying and looking at me? Get out of here. Ah, she scared me. You heard me talking about him. You can do a lot of promotion of yourself too. And I want to talk about that because I think sometimes we lack to promote ourselves as entrepreneurs. Promote yourself as far as what people have, what they're going to get if they join you, whether it be as a customer or a promoter, right? Or if you're a coach and they're joining you as a client, what are they getting when they join you? Promote those parts of you, okay? And even if you just have a positive attitude, you're better off than half the world right now. You join me, you're getting a positive attitude. You're going to get accountability. You're going to get a community. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to get, you're going to get all this, and that. But if your team has systems, if your team has like a customer event that they do, like LaShawn, right? Weekly, we're going to give you an event that you can invite your customers to. Be promoting the resources that you have available. If it's a customer page, right? I love Facebook events. I found them to be super successful in things that I'm doing as far as business, product, service. Even if you're doing a live, you can create a Facebook event and link your live to it, right? But what I found is having some kind of group, like to invite them to, has been a lot more successful, especially with my follow-up, because they're stuck inside a group. Unfortunately, with Facebook events, you used to be able to, and someone correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like it changes every day, but you used to be able to set like an indefinite event and have the event open all the time, which is great because then the same people hang out. Well, they changed that. Now you can only do it like 2 weeks in a row and it stops. So if you're inviting people to the event, great. But if you kind of got a leaky bucket follow-up system and the event's over and it's not really in your face anymore, you've got to have a good system to be like, okay, I'm going back to the event. I'm going to talk to the people who watched the video or who joined the event, right? That's why personally I like having a group, because it gives people a spot to stay and it gives me an opportunity to continue to follow up because they're always hanging out unless they leave the group, which they're not going to leave. Everybody's fun, right? And just like Eric Worre says in the follow-up chapter, right? You really should have something that you're able to invite your prospects to, whether it's a page, an event, watching a video or something. That's going to help you so much in follow-up and also bringing them on. If you have some things to like invite them to, a video, right? Send them the video and they're like, well, how did you like it? The conversation, what interested you the most? And if they say it's making money, right? You know where to go with it. It really helps the conversations when you're able to have these things to invite them back to. So maybe that sparked a little light bulb in your brain today to do something like that if you don't have it available. And I'll preface by saying, if your team doesn't have something like that and you're like, I want something, go create it. Just go create something. Go create like a weekly event with you and one other person where you guys go live in the event page and you talk about stuff. I will say going live is an incredible way to promote your product, service, or opportunity. Every time I go live, and no matter what, someone is always asking something about something afterwards. It's a great way to start conversations. If people tell me that they're not sure where to go right now or they're not having the conversations, try clicking that live button. I know it's not for everybody. Maybe go live in your stories. That's a great way to promote yourself. Go live in your stories instead of doing that. I've got this offer today. Go live in your stories and say, hey, I have this offer available. This is what you're going to get. I don't know. Sometimes I like that better than like reading something that's like super full of all this stuff. Exactly like I was saying about graphics from companies. Sometimes it's so much. I try to think of those things like a vendor table, right? Like less is more. When you ever walk past like a table at like a vendor show and there's so much stuff going on, I don't know about you guys, but that's why I can't shop at TJ Maxx. It's just too much stuff going on all the time. Like it's just like, everything's thrown up everywhere. That's why I like Target, because everything's like put up nicely, you know where everything's at, right? So think about that. If someone has like a really clear way of whatever your promotion is, if they have a clear way of you saying it's free shipping if you get this, or you get this freebie if you sign up for my email list, write in your stories. Do a pre-recorded video even if you want. But I will tell you that going live is just a great way to get more people to kind of see what you're doing, especially if you have a product. Okay. I know almost every person in this Zoom right now has some type of product, service, or opportunity. The best way that you can do this is unboxing. Like I love to tell people, like when you get started with lives, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Start with an unbox. Next time you get something in the mail that you promote, go live, open it up, share what's inside, share how it's, what it's done for you, your experience, why you promote that specific thing. But that's so simple. And then give people, I think the most important part of this promotion of event, product, service, or opportunity is a call to action. Having a spot to say, okay, and let me know if you want more information. Here's my website. Having them with that call to action, somewhere to invite them back to. If you want more information, I'll invite you to my customer page or my customer event, right? Because you think about it too, if I just make a post and I'm like, okay, this is, what you get with me, join my business right now. You're going to get a high vibe tribe of people, community, and I'm going to help you do this. They're going to be like, okay, cool. It would be way different if I was like, send me a PM right now. I want to get you in. This is what I have available. This week we have a Zoom where we're going to talk about this. Ask me for the Zoom ID. Then more than likely, they will be like, hey, what's the Zoom ID, right? And you have like a conversation going where to say, okay, follow up with this person. And one thing I wanted to talk about too, when Jess was talking about follow-up this week, and a little bit how he talks about it in the last chapter, if you have a follow-up like issue is not really a good word. I'm not the best at it all the time, so I'm just going to give you my little quick tip. Use this fool right here. just grab Siri, tell her to remind you to check in with this person on this day, and she sure will. And most of the time, you have this thing within at least a foot of radius of you, I'm sure. Maybe even a couple inches most of the time. But that's the best way to not forget things too, especially when you're promoting an event. Okay. If you're promoting an event that's on Thursday night and you have people invited and you haven't really talked to them since like Monday, or said, like, hey, this event is going to be on Thursday night, right? I don't know. Sometimes you have a good turnout, but I have found that it's a lot better if I'm going back and saying, hey, maybe 15 minutes before that event's in 15 minutes, if you're able to check it out, right? Um, One thing I wanted to talk about too, about promotions, and promoting as far as you and what you're doing. If it's a product, a service, an opportunity, I try not to do too many promotions right on my social media page, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, wherever you're sharing. When I first got started, did that a lot. Things were different back then, where you could offer free anything. And I've just found in my time when I'm constantly offering promotions, whether it's, try this for free or half off of this, you tend to devalue yourself and your product, service, or opportunity. And I'm not saying that having sales are bad, but have the sale conversation with someone in a PM. Have the sale conversation with someone, like, when you're having that conversation in a text or something, or, and that's the thing too. If you're like, well, when am I going to do that? You need to have more conversations in Messenger so that you're able to offer those promotions via Messenger. I do tons of promotions. People don't know about them all the time. Number one, too, because one thing I do is if I have a promotion up and it's, let's say it's 24 hours or it's up until Friday, get it off your Facebook. I always go back and delete them once it's over. You don't want someone like seeing it in 2 weeks and bumping it and or asking you if this or whatever it might be. I just delete them once they're done. I contact everybody within it, right? But I delete them once they're done. That way they're not always there. What I found too is sometimes there will be people who will just wait for a promotion and they're like, oh, well, she did free this last week, so I'll just, wait for the next thing. Or you're messaging someone, they're like, oh yeah, I saw you did this, I'll just wait for, when the next thing. Oh, I hate when that happens, but I want to let you know that you did that to yourself. Every time I have to like foot in mouth because I'm like, I did that to myself by promoting too much stuff. And that's one thing too. When I talk to someone on social media and I give them, this is just me personally, when I give them opportunity for like a promotion of some sort, and I give it like one or two times and they don't take advantage of it, or, whatever happens, we've all had these situations happen. I tend not to give a promotion after that because I think too, you start to devalue yourself and your product. If people don't take you seriously, there's a million fish in the sea that you can give your promotions to. Start talking to more people, start having conversations with more people. So think about that too. When was the last time you went through your page and checked out, like, okay, do I have too much promotion stuff? Should I get some of this stuff down? Maybe I have like a free shipping from last week that I need to pull down. And that's why I like to do that stuff in my stories, because it's only up for the 24 hours. Usually whenever anything's running, it's 24 hours and then it's down. Don't have to worry about it anymore, right? And I will say too, the 80-20 in your stories will help you so much with engagement. If you are doing things once in a while, of like, hey, I did the other day sauerkraut, or no. I had like 80 people and they all liked sauerkraut too. God bless. Only 12 people didn't like sauerkraut, but I haven't had that many people comment on a poll in my stories in a long time. So sometimes it does help to do the 80-20 in there and just switch it up, especially if you're like me and you do a lot of promotion in your stories as well. So that being said, I want to talk really quick because I have like 10 minutes left, about the program. I guess I can just tell you guys. I don't know why I'm trying to be sneaky about it. I'm going to do this 30 days to grow your gram. Basically what it's going to be is you'll see it in the High Vibe Tribe. And, if you have people on your team who are looking to grow their gram, add them to that, so that basically what I'm going to do is day by day, starting today. So up until May, it's snowing. So I don't know what's going on in my mind here. It feels like Christmas. May 21st, every single day, I'm going to do an action step for you on Instagram that is going to help you grow your Instagram. Obviously, you know that you get to 10K, there's so many opportunities there. But I don't want you to like if you only get 4 people out of the next whatever 30 days, that's 4 new people. Okay. So I don't want you to be too like nervous about doing this, or maybe thinking I'm not on Instagram that much, so I don't really want to do this. This is going to start at the beginner. Oh yeah, I'm glad you guys are excited. This will start like right at that beginning phase. Not like beginner stuff, but like get started with us. And each single day you'll have something that you can do with inside the group. I haven't really, this is kind of like, last minute. So just run with me. Inside the group, I'll have like a poll, or like, did you finish your, and this is what it is. Did you finish? Click yes or no. Or if you have questions, I would love for them to go inside that feed as well, so that if other people are struggling with something similar from that day, they can look at it and be like, oh, okay, that was the answer to whatever it was. That's how it did. Basically too, it will help grow your Instagram. And when I hear grow your Instagram, think growing consistently, growing engagement. Of course I want you to grow followers, but if you grow engagement with the followers you have right now too, if you're not getting the engagement, you start growing that, that's a huge win. Because the most important thing with Instagram is just the consistency of being on there. So that's really what I want this 30 days to turn into too, is a tool of consistency. I'm not sure what the habit rule is anymore. I feel like it changes all the time, but 30 days, I think at that point we'll have created a good habit of showing up on Instagram, and kind of for you to see that it's not as hard as everyone makes it seem. But I'm going to give you tips and tricks. And like I said, as we go along, try to stay in with it, because as we go along, like day 15 and day 16, we'll get like a little bit more advanced in some of the like tips and tricks I'll give you. But again, if there are questions that you have, I would love for them to go like in that day so that we can go through the thread. I haven't figured out what time exactly I'll launch them each day. I guess I'll probably try to do in the mornings so that you can have the day to, what do you guys think of that? Launch it in the morning and then you have the day to do it. Okay. I feel like that, most people too, I try to get everything done in the morning. Some of the stuff will be on your stories. Some of it will be right on your page. It's all going to be like different stuff. But again, it's all going to be things that will help you get more exposure. So if out of this, you don't gain like 2,000 followers, which would be super cool if you did, that would just be an amazing case study. You very well may, but the whole point too is to create more engagement for you, more consistency for you. The platform absolutely loves that. And, just like I shared last week in Social Slayer, a Saturday, Pinterest is starting to do stories. So a lot of other platforms are mimicking Instagram and mimicking what it's doing. And you have a lot of opportunity on Instagram to grow. I think more for me, it's a lot easier on Instagram to talk to people because it's very business. I like business. I don't feel awkward talking about business. So I know for some people, maybe they feel awkward. That's your spot then. Like, because those people are business. Like, how many times have you gotten like a collab message, right? It's all business on there. You can find the coolest stuff too, not to scroll really quick, but I am scrolling now. I love hint water. Okay. And we had this post the other day, Jess, Sunshine, and I, and this hint water that we're all obsessed with. I made a post and the actual CEO of Hint messaged me and said, thank you. So that's one of the things that, I'm going to really show you too on Instagram, is there's so much room for opportunity. Obviously it's not like I'm about to have like an affiliate code with them or something, but I fangirled. That was fun for me. That was like a little checkbox. So I know that Instagram works. There are things like that you can use to get more exposure, right? Or even just check off a fangirl. That's good too, right? So I'm going to launch that today. I'll do day 1 right after we get off here. If you have people that you want to add to the group, like I said, go ahead and add them. It's private, but I'll try to get them added as soon as we can. Yeah, Amy, one thing too, she said lots of collaboration invites on IG. So one thing too, Amy, let's just answer your question too. Sometimes the collaboration can be good things. I always just say, look into it, see if it's the vibe for you. You could get lots of free stuff. I've gotten like free shirts before. But see if it's something for you, see if it's something you vibe with. Maybe it's something that you could collaborate with someone in your current business and say like, okay, I'll introduce you to my network, you introduce me to yours. I try to take advantage of those opportunities when they look legit. So just check that out too. Amy, we can totally tag each other if you want. Yeah, I'm totally down with that. It might get a little crazy because there's a lot of us, but if you want to find a couple people to tag each day, there will be a couple tasks about utilizing the features inside of there as far as tagging too. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Let me know too if there's certain things that you really want help on in Instagram that you're not seeing. If we when we start the Grow Your Gram, as today, like if we get halfway through and you're like, I really want to know more about this, let me know and I can create something. We can do a dose episode on that. So I'm really excited for that to launch. Again, please share this with other people because I want to try to help as many people be successful on Instagram. I do believe that there's lots of room for growth. I just think that people are confused and they don't know where to start. So that's where I want to help you get started to grow your gram. So thanks for joining me today. Tomorrow we are going to have Julie Gannon. I'm really excited. And we will see you back here, 8:30 a.m. Bye, guys.